Hey, what's up, guys? It's Building Universe, and I'm back at you doing a chart reading on Mr. Shawn Mendes. So, not gonna lie, I don't know why I'm like embarrassed to say this. I don't know. I just don't like to be seen as like just another thought that's like thirsty for Shawn Mendes. Plus, he's like, I don't know, 25 and I'm 35, so I just feel like it's sad. But I mean, what can I say? He's hot. He's fine. And if I could hate on him all I want, but I'm not gonna lie. If he came up to me at a bar and was like, "Hey, let's go out," I'd be like, "Fuck yeah." So anyway, I gave his music a chance. Don't like his music, but I can't help but intuitively think that he's actually a really, really good person with like a really good heart. And he's like a kind person. He's a simple guy. And I say that in a really good way, not simple as in he's like simple minded or he's I mean like his motives are transparent. He's a transparent person. So yeah, let's dive into it. So the biggest thing I would like to talk to you about is his sun placement, and it's in Cancer. So he's a Cancer sun. Okay, so I do Vedic astrology. So if you're not accustomed to that, or if you don't like Vedic, I do urge you to stick around and at least hear me out. So he's born August 8th. So in tropical, that's notoriously known for being a Leo sign, but in Vedic astrology, that is Cancer. And he's specifically the star of Aslesha. So, the other thing I wanted to say is Aslesha men. Okay, Aslesha is kind of like the cosmic virgin. And a lot of these people with Aslesha placements, they can actually be incredibly controlled by people, by places, by things. Moon in general has this energy of innocence, and so while Mercury does rule the certain star, the specific star of Aslesha, Moon rules the Rashi sign of Cancer. So he is a Moon native technically. And I was just doing the Britney Spears video last week about how her moon placement is very strong. She's a moon lady as well. And as you can see, she has entities all around her trying to control her. Another great example is Millie Bobby Brown. Her moon is in Shravana, which is a star in Capricorn that's ruled by the moon. And in Stranger Things, that's the whole premise of Stranger Things is entities trying to come and control her, trying to capture her, stuff like that. So that can actually be a big thing with Aslesha natives, which is Shawn Mendes. These men are because Cancer is the mother, it's a very feminine sign. When a man is born under this very feminine sign, this gives them feminine looks. So it's not that they look girly or anything. It actually means that they're very attractive. It means that they're blessed with a very cute face. So someone with a lot of Venus or Sun in their chart, a man with a lot of Venus or Sun, or even Mars, will have a more masculine face. Whereas someone with a lot of Moon in their chart, like Leonardo DiCaprio or Shawn Mendes, they will have more of a Venus. They will have more of like a pretty face. This also goes the same with Mercury. If a Mercury is ruling a man's chart, this will give him a really cute face. So the only person I can think of at the top of my head with the Venus placement, with a Mercury placement, is like Heath Ledger. Yeah, I can picture the faces, but I can't think of the names right now. So anyway, point is, when a man has a lot of moon in their chart, this will give them more of a pretty face. And that's what he does. He has a very pretty face. He's a very pretty guy. And Cancer, Cancer is supposed to be like the mother. It's the sign of the mother, but this is a man. So this gives him like a bit of softness, and this makes him more gentle. Now it is, sorry, I've got sinuses. It is ruled by Mercury, and Mercury can actually be very, very shrewd because they're very smart, they're very clever, they're very quick on their feet. So Mercury can make these people like very shrewd, very rude, very quick-witted, very tricky, very trickster type people. They can be very what's it called? Like tricky, like playing, God, it's hard to explain. Think of Peter Pan. Like Peter Pan is perfect like personification of Aslacia. Someone who's forever young, someone who is doesn't want to grow up, someone's very tricky, someone who tries to pull the wool over your eyes. And you know what? You could also think of like Loki. Loki is someone who's very smart, but also is someone who is a trickster. So you could very much think of Aslacia as this kind of person. For a woman, it makes them very, very, very smart and very dominant. So Aslacia women, so like Megan Fox or Madonna, these women are very headstrong, and it'll make them very so dominant that they will actually dominate men until they find the real true masculine man to dominate them, and then they will become like super clingy and all this stuff. So but with men that have this star, they will actually be actually, I don't want to say weak, but they will be kind of like a pushover. They honestly, yeah, they're kind of weak. So what Machine Gun Kelly, he has a placement in Aslacia. And as soon as he started dating Megan Fox, like what's he doing? He's walking around wearing pink outfits, putting a pacifier in his mouth. You know what I mean? Steve Carell, he also is an Aslacia son. And if you saw The Office, Jan was constantly belittling him, treating him like a child, treating him like a baby. So when you get Aslacia men, you get these very nice, very kind men. But also they are kind of like, when it comes to relationships and comes to women, they're kind of weak. They would rather be like handled or be like a trophy husband, or manipulated or controlled, rather than be the manipulator, be the controller. When they're in relationships, the women most definitely wear the pants. And in my opinion, I kind of saw this when he was dating that Aquarius woman. What's her name? The girl who did that Cinderella movie. Can't even think of her name right now. But yeah, they did that Senorita song together. I can't even, Camila Cabello, that's it. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. Like, before I found out about Camila Cabello's placements, I kind of didn't like her. I kind of thought she was kind of a cunt, kind of mean, kind of a shrewd person, kind of like a controlling, bossy person, kind of like, I don't know. I just don't like her. I know that's petty. I know it's petty of me to say, but I don't like her. I never did. I never saw the movie. I don't like her music. I just don't like her. Something about her face. It's so terrible. But I find out that she is a Shatabisha's son, which is Shatabisha is a star in Aquarius, and these women, Shatabisha women, are actually incredibly rude. They're incredibly controlling. They're very not. They're very like, they're cunts. Honestly, like really, all Rahu ruled women have a real potential to be just a fucking bitch, and that kind of makes sense that she is with him. So she really she found herself a boy toy is what it is. And Aslacia men, which is Shawn Mendes, they can definitely be the boy toy. Like someone who's very handsome, very desired, but also very weak when it comes to relationships. So usually they get with very strong-willed women. And the other person, and you know who Shawn Mendes looks like is what's his name? Well, I'm so bad at names right now. Ben Affleck. He looks like Ben Affleck, and Ben Affleck is also an Aslacia's son. So the reason they look alike, in my opinion, is because they have the same. They're under the same sun sign, under this certain star of Aslacia. Now, and also, what's his name? Ben Affleck. Who is he with? He's with Jennifer Lopez. She's a very headstrong, boss type woman. And a lot of people don't like her either. A lot of people call her like a bitch or a cunt or something like that. People don't, a lot of people do like her, but the people who don't like her, they really don't like her. They just don't like her at all. And she's actually a Saturn woman. Steve Carell, remember, like I mentioned, Jan is also a Saturn woman. And Shawn Mendes, Camila Cabello, um, her her star is Shatabisha, which is in Aquarius. Saturn rules Aquarius. So Saturn is, and actually, Saturn is known historically for being the planet of authority. So these men crave an authoritative woman. So, and it's interesting because he's no longer with her, and now he's with some 50-year-old. You know what I mean? So it's like he really truly does crave authority in his woman. And the other thing is, this is actually pretty crude of me to say, but I'm going to talk about it because, I mean, whatever. But as Laisha, men, I have found over and over have big dicks. And so I would like kind of bet on it that Shawn Mendes has a big dick. And the other thing is, so Camila Cabello, you know, her sun sign is Aquarius, but that specific star is called Shatabisha. That is ruled by Rahu, or the north node of the moon. And the north node is, stars ruled by the north node are all in the air signs. So Ardra is ruled by Rahu, that's in Gemini. Shatabisha is ruled by Rahu, that's in Aquarius. And and Swati is ruled by Rahu, and that's in Libra. So all the Rahu ruled stars are in the air signs. And so the women, I've noticed, they like a big dick is like required, like it's a must with their men. And Aslesha men are like that perfect template, because Aslesha men usually have big dicks, but they're not strong enough to like be controlling or manipulative or dominating or whatever. So that's like the perfect man for these very headstrong women. They want a weak man who has a big dick. And so like Aslesha is like the perfect guy for that. Yeah. And but Mercury rules the star of Aslesha, and Mercury is very good with the arts. Mercury rules the hands. So people who are ruled by Mercury, myself included, my star, I'm a Virgo. I'm a Virgo moon. The Rashi Virgo is ruled by Mercury. So I'm a Virgo moon myself. So I technically am a am a Mercury man as well. But when you have a star ruled by Mercury in a major placement, you know, they're very good at anything with the hands. So it could be being a writer. It could be being a piano player. I know he's a guitar player. You know, I said Mercury is ruling my Rashi moon, and I'm a piano teacher. I play the piano. I used to be a songwriter when I was a kid. I still write songs. So you know, these people are very creative, and they're very intelligent too. Very, 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 very smart. Like I truly don't know Aslesha people who aren't very intelligent. They're very intelligent. They're very good at administration stuff. They're very good writers. They're just really, really good writers. I don't know what time he was born, so I don't know his ascendant. And because I don't know what time he was born, I don't know his his moon sign. I'm gonna guess that it's probably in Dhanishta, and Dhanishta is a star in Capricorn. So he could either be a Capricorn moon, but it's like right on the cusp of half of Dhanishta is in Capricorn, the other half of Dhanishta is in Aquarius. So he could be Capricorn moon, Dhanishta. That's what I'm gonna guess. And this is actually a really, really good placement for anyone. When you're a Dhanishta moon, the astrologer Claire Nakti, she did a study on what makes people beautiful. And there were several planets, like Venus in the first house. That was a major trend in all these beautiful people. But for men, the two biggest stars that were very common amongst these very good-looking men was Uttara Ashada, which is in Capricorn, and Dhanishta, which is in half of Capricorn, half of Aquarius, and that's what Shawn Mendes is. He's a Dhanishta moon, and he's very handsome. Like Cindy Crawford is a Dhanishta moon. A lot of high fashion models are Dhanishta moon or Dhanishta sun. Marilyn Monroe was a Dhanishta moon. So again, Dhanishta is a star, half in Capricorn, half in Aquarius, and that is, I would think that he's Dhanishta because also in ancient Hindu astrology, the Shakti for Dhanishta, the Shakti is kind of like the slogan, or like the purpose of that certain star. So the Shakti of Dhanishta is to bring guaranteed wealth and fame, and that's exactly what he is. He's wealthy and famous, so that makes sense to me. Um, and it's interesting because his Ketu, which is his south node, is in Shatabisha, which is the same star as Camila Caballo's sun or moon. I can't remember. So I would, and the fact that Dhanishta is actually the star just before Shatabisha. So those two stars actually sit next to each other in Aquarius. So I wouldn't be surprised if they were together for so long, partially because there were probably a lot of conjunctions in their chart, which means there's a lot of easy understanding with each other. There's a lot of the same likes, a lot of the same philosophies, a lot of the same interests. If there's a lot of conjunctions, that means that I wouldn't be surprised if they actually get back together again, because that means there's just a lot of compatibility. Yeah. I think that's enough. 16 minutes? I think that's good. All right, guys, bye.